finally, you teased it earlier. Are you picking the Gators, or you're just not counting them out?
No, I'm not picking the Gators because you can't pick against Alabama, especially with what you saw out of Florida this past week, losing to a true freshman quarterback at home in a must-win game to keep your playoff hopes alive. And even if Florida is able to win this game, they are very much on the outside looking in of getting into the playoff with such an ugly loss. And we got into this on College Football Gridiron a little bit earlier today, and we'll have that for you on social media at some point soon. But we were trying to figure out how the heck does this work where Florida loses to an unranked LSU team at home, true freshman quarterback. By the way, with Marco Wilson kind of screwing the thing up for them by throwing a player's shoe and just the optics of that whole thing. How are they only dropping a spot in the college football rankings? Like they only went from 6 to 7. So that was something that was really a head scratcher, and then trying to determine where the committee stands on all of these things and trying to just it's like there's a standard of, okay, we're going to go with who's the most deserving in the top 4, like who's the most accomplished. But outside of the top 4, then it's like, who do we feel is the best team? Like if we put these two teams head to head, who do we feel like would win outside of that top 4? So it's really frustrating to try and figure out and get into. But the key for Florida is that they have a Heisman caliber quarterback and an offensive attack that is really good, right? Kyle Trask and what Florida can do on offense should scare Alabama in a defensive unit that has not been good for most of this season. They are not your father's Alabama that is going to beat LSU in the national championship game by beating them down and just not letting anything happen by shutting teams completely down. They don't do that anymore. And to prove the point, or to say that you can be really good offensively and stay with Alabama, you look to the game that Bama played earlier this year against Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. And when I say that Ole Miss did not stop Alabama, that is an exaggeration by one drive. Okay, Ole Miss got one stop defensively. Alabama scored on every other possession in that game, and the Rebels were in that for most of it. So when you can, and Florida's defense is much better, they will be able to, I'm counting on them getting 2 stops in this game. I think that Florida's defense is good for at least 2.
Breaking news.
You have that offense that can go up and score the way that Florida does, the weapons they have, and Trask playing at as high a level as he can. I think there is a chance. Again, I'm not picking Florida to win. Alabama is as well coached as they come. Mac Jones, Devontae Smith, and Najee Harris offensive weapons are the best in the country. That is as good as it gets, and I think that this game is going to be won in the trenches, is going to be won up front, and that battle points towards Alabama. I think Alabama has the advantage in that area. That said, any given Saturday, if Florida is able to show up and sort of control things up front, I like what they have and potentially able to pull off the upset. I don't think that this is a game where Alabama covers. I think it's going to be a sneaky close game, but Bama's going to come out on top in the end.
Yeah, I think I agree with your assessment of Alabama that while they are the best team in the country, they aren't 56-0 like we've seen in the past. That being said, I don't really give Florida a chance, but maybe that means I give Ohio State more of a chance in the playoff if you see it working out chalk and Ohio State getting the 4 spot. Certainly more of a chance than I would have given them any other year. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens on that end.